All right. Who knows more? AI or you and I? Let's find out. I asked Google Gemini to name the 10 most iconic songs from the decade of the 1960s. Boy, was I surprised. Let's start now. The first name, Stand By Me, Benny King, 1961.
Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, stand by me.
Justification. The song peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100 list. It's got more than a billion, that's right, a billion streams. Genre innovation. It blended traditional gospel with rhythm and blues soul, featuring a unique bass line hook that became foundational for decades of popular music. One of the most frequently covered songs in history by hundreds of artists, including Otis Redding, Ike and Tina Turner, Bruce Springsteen, and U2. Stand By Me. What say you? Keep or cut? The criteria, it had to be a Hot 100 song back in its day. It has to have quantifiable popularity today, and it must be noteworthy for changing the direction of the 1960s music scene. Number 2, Good Vibrations, the Beach Boys.
I'm picking up vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up vibrations. She's giving me
Gemini Justification. It was a number 1 song back in 1966 on the Hot 100, over 500,000 streams. Production landmark. The most expensive single recorded to that point, $600,000 in today's dollars. It pioneered the use of the studio as an instrument with tape edits and non-linear structure. Psychedelic pop defined the ambitious, complex sound of psychedelic pop and directly challenged the Beatles in musical innovation. Good Vibrations. What say you? Keep or cut? There are 10 songs on the list. Songs are not ranked. When I give the number, it means it's just one of the 10 songs selected as the most iconic songs of all time by The House of the Rising Sun, The Animals.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun.
Gemini Justification. It peaked at number 1 back in 1964 on the Hot 100, has over 1 billion streams. British Invasion. It marked a shift from the Beatles' bright pop to a grittier blues-rooted sound, introducing the American folk blues themes to a global rock audience. Music scene change. It directly influenced folk rock musicians to go electric, including Bob Dylan, with albums Bring It Back Home and Highway 61 that released a year later in 1965. The House of the Rising Sun. What say you? Keep or cut? I was concerned that Gemini would have come back with a list dominated by 1 or 2 artists, so I restricted them to 1 artist per song. Number 4 on the list, Aretha Franklin, Respect.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take out T-C-B.
Gemini Justification. It was a Hot 100 song back in 1967, has 750,000 streams. Queen of Soul defined. It cemented Franklin's status as the Queen of Soul through her explosive and dynamic vocal performance and arrangement. Chart dominance. Reached number 1 on both the pop and R&B charts, a crossover success that elevated soul music's mainstream presence. Music scene change. It shifted the focus of soul music toward empowerment and social commentary. This was 4 years prior to Marvin Gaye's What's Going On? Respect. What say you? Keep or cut? Number 5, The Temptations, My Girl.
I guess you
Gemini Justification, Hot 100, number 1. Over 1 billion streams. Motown Perfection. We all knew Motown when we hear it. My Girl from 1965 set the standard. The polished orchestral Motown sound featuring a memorable opening bass riff and layered, precise vocal harmonies. Timeless love song, despite being 60 years old, it remains a favorite for weddings, movies, and advertisements, driving its high streaming numbers. My Girl, what say you? Keep or cut? We are halfway through the list of the 10 most iconic Hot 100 songs from the 1960s, according to who? According to Google Gemini. Are they on or off track? Let me know in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Number 6, The Rolling Stones, Paint It Black.
I see a line of cars and they are painted black. Flowers and my love hope never to come back.
Gemini Justification. Peaked at number 1 on the Hot 100 list, over 1 billion streams. The year was 1966. Genre expansion, a major foray into psychedelic rock, utilizing Eastern sounds with the inclusion of a prominent sitar, adding a dark exotic feature to the rock palette. Film, media, staple. Due to its dramatic and intense sound, it is heavily used in video games, trailers, and film, directly boosting its streaming activity. Additional impact. It showed the Stones moving away from the simple R&B covers into complex original compositions, defining their artistic path. My comments, Ruby Tuesday and Sympathy for the Devil, both come to mind. Paint It Black. What say you? Keep or cut? Number 7, Credence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate Son.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No.
Gemini Justification. Peaked at number 14 on the Hot 100, over 1 billion streams. Political rock anthem. It is arguably the most recognizable and enduring anti-war and anti-establishment rock song of the Vietnam era, streaming anomaly. Despite its moderate peak chart position, its heavy inclusion in films, TV, and historical documentaries has made it one of the most streamed 60s songs globally. Music scene. It brought a stripped-down roots rock revivalism to the end of the 1960s, rejecting the complex psychedelia that dominated the middle of the decade. Fortunate Son. What say you? Keep or cut? Number 8, The Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin'. Gemini Justification. Song peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100, has over 1 billion streams. Folk rock fusion. A cornerstone of the emerging folk rock genre and defining song of the West Coast sound. Capturing a transition from folk earnestness to pop sophistication. It helped establish LA, specifically the Laurel Canyon scene, as a major center for pop music production and creation, rivaling New York City. Music scene change. The combination of acoustic guitars, pop sensibility, and vocal arrangement created the signature sunshine pop sound. California Dreamin'. What say you? Keep or cut? Only 2 more songs on the list. Who's been left off? Who do you think should be on? Let us know in the comments. Number 9, Simon and Garfunkel, The Sound of Silence.
That was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
Gemini Justification. It peaked at number 1 back in 1966. It has close to 750 million streams. Modern relevance. Its theme of communication breakdown is timeless, leading to its frequent use in media and consistently high streaming profile. Just short of 50 years after the Simon and Garfunkel release, Disturbed's cover garnered a number 1 on the mainstream rock and hard rock digital songs charts, and it won a Grammy. The message, a profound statement on alienation and failure of communication in modern society, where people are unable to connect genuinely. You know, people talking without speaking. Music scene change. It proved that electronically augmenting acoustic tracks could yield a massive commercial success, setting up a precedent for producer intervention in folk music. The Sound of Silence. What say you? Keep or cut? We're down to our last song. And I know you've got at least a couple songs that haven't been mentioned. Could number 10 be one of those songs? Number 10. Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the...
I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Gemini Justification. It peaked at number 1 on the Hot 100 back in '68, has 1 billion or more streams. Soul Evolution. It marked a stylistic departure for Redding, featuring a mellow, melancholy, and introspective sound that foreshadowed the smoother sound of the 70s. Music scene change. Its success was key to popularizing the Stax record sound outside of the traditional rhythm and blue market and into a wider pop landscape. Additional impact. It inspired countless soul artists to incorporate non-traditional song structures and use subtle sound effects like the waves, seagulls, and whistling into their production. Well, there you have it. The 10 most iconic songs from the 1960s, according to Google Gemini. Now, obviously, you're thinking the same thing I am. I know you are. No Beatles? No Dylan? Why? Oh, I asked Gemini. Here's what they responded. Gemini considered Hey Jude by the Beatles, selected House of the Rising Sun instead, saying, both are number 1 singles that defined the British Invasion, but House of the Rising Sun offered a key genre shift, folk, blues, and rock. That wasn't covered by other selections, and the Animals needed a representation. Hey, you know what? I'm not even a Beatles fan. But I gotta say, the Beatles needed more representation than the Animals. Just saying. Gemini considered Like a Rolling Stone, selected Dock of the Bay instead. Both songs are critically vital to the decade. Gemini selected Otis Redding to ensure Stax Soul's iconic, highly streamed sound was included. As Aretha Franklin represented the Atlantic Soul, the Temptations represented Motown. My response, sure, those artists represented key labels, but doggone it, Dylan represented an entire generation. Just saying. Well, that's what Google Gemini thinks. Here's what I think. I think they overlooked the most iconic song, Buffalo Springfield, for what it's worth.
I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
My Justification. The song peaked at number 7 back in 1967. It's got over 800 million streams. It became the defining non-confrontational music statement for the entire counterculture movement. Defining folk rock, solidified the genre by fusing the electrical instrumentation and production with the earnest lyrical focus of folk protest songs. It defined the political sound of LA music. It was written by Stephen Stills, recorded by Buffalo Springfield. Of course, the band included Stills, Neil Young, Richie Furay, Dewey Martin, Bruce Palmer. Cultural Signal instantly establishes the atmosphere of the 1960s civil conflict and anti-war sentiment. Okay, you've heard from Google Gemini, and you've heard from me. It's time we hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for listening to this list of the 10 most iconic songs from the 1960s according to Google Gemini.